So this is my third day in Costa Rica, and I'm doing kind of like an update on how it's been so far. I did make a video yesterday, but I decided not to post it because I was so sleepy. Anyway, so today was an eventful day. I started off early in the morning, early for me, and headed for breakfast to this one place that I'm obsessed with. It's called like Rainforest Cafe. Anyway, I think that's what it's called. I probably wrote it down somewhere on the receipt, but I've been there 3 times now. I went for dinner, breakfast, and then dinner again today, and it's so good. Pretty basic, but I like it. I'm kind of congested from my allergies, that's why I sound like this, because I went hiking today. So yeah, and then I went to the hostel across the street where I booked my tour, my hiking tour to the volcano, and they're like, the tour bus person came, the tour guide, and he looks at my pass and he's like, this isn't the company, this is like a different company for you. So I was like, okay, I'll wait. So I waited at the hostel, and while I was waiting, the guy at the hostel, I guess the front desk receptionist, he must have had a cat, or the hostel owns a cat, and while I was staying there, this little kitty, so tiny. I have a picture, I have to post it, so I probably like, can't show, but like, see my arm? Probably from my fingertips to my elbow. And I have a short arm, so like that's how big the little kitty was. And the kitten came on the couch where I was sitting, and then like jumped on my, or tried to jump on my lap. I was like, no, I don't want cat scratch fever disease. I don't want a cat bite. I don't have no time to be going to a hospital or clinic here for antibiotics, so or treatment. So this cat then starts like not like scratching me, but you know, just like playing around with my book bag and like my clothes. And I was like, it was a cute little cat, so I couldn't help but pet the cat, and I was like, just adorable. Or he was, I don't know, he or she, but it was cute. And then I needed some sunscreen, but I was like, yeah, whatever, too late. But I needed some mosquito repellent too. So I saw this bottle of a mosquito repellent on the table or something like across from me, and I asked the receptionist of the hostel, I was like, is that for sale? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, how much is it? And he just looked at me like I was weird. I'm shitting here. Anyway, I went to the hot springs today, so my hair got wet. So I came back to the hotel and like, I better wash it now. So that's why my hair is a hot mess. But anyways, that's beside the point. I don't exactly bring hair accessories. And my hairpin cracked in half. It's in the trash can. It's okay. I have a hairband. She'll be okay for now. But I don't really care. I care less. Anyway, so, and the guy at the hostel was like, you can just have some. I was like, how much is this mosquito repellent? Though I don't like to take free stuff. And he's like, it's like $10. And I was like, for 10 10,000, which is kind of like equivalent to almost like 20 some bucks in my rough conversion. So I was like, no way. I was like, no gracias. And he was like, here. He like shoved the bottle towards me, and he's like, just take as much as you want. I won't tell anyone. And I was like, I do need some repellent. I'm going into a jungle. I can't afford to get sick. I already had some mosquito bites, but yeah, mosquitoes love me for some reason. It's like a love-hate relationship with the mosquitoes. They love me, I hate them. But it is what it is, so if they want to have my blood, then as long as they don't give me disease, it's all good. Anyway, so the mosquitoes, they were like, I haven't had a single mosquito bite since then, though. So I like not secretly, but like I just put on some mosquito repellent, and I showed the bottle back to him. I was like, thank you so much. And he's like, no problem. And I was like, that's a sign of a good hostel. See, that's the nice thing about hostels, is like, you get so many things for cheap or free. Like, if I try to buy that at a hotel, they'll be like, oh, give me your credit card. Swipe. $20. No, I'm not doing that. I'm not stupid. So I couldn't find a pharmacy. That's why I had to do that. the hostel and used the kind of sort of free mosquito repellent that he was nice enough to lend to me. So I like quickly put it on, and but then I waited 10 minutes. I'm like, why is the tour bus not here yet? I asked him, and he's like, he looks at my pass, he checks the reservation on the computer. He's like, you have the reservation, but for some reason the lady that booked it last night wrote the wrong company on there. She wrote like some rafting company's name instead of the actual hiking tour. So he's like, let me call them again. So he called them, and the tour guy came, and he's like, I'm so sorry, it said a different name earlier. So he's like, come on the bus now. So I got on the shuttle bus, and then we headed to the volcano starting point. Yeah, and then we hiked about 2 to 3 hours, maybe more. I think total we probably hiked like 4 to 5 hours, but it was a lot of fun, like going through the jungle in Costa Rica, and just like we hiked on a lot of old volcanic like lava rocks. Once upon a time it was like molten lava or solid, I don't know, it was different. He tried to explain it to me and everyone. I kind of got confused. I have to look into that and do some research now though. I'm really fascinated. I love geography. So anyway, so we hiked on that, and it was so much fun, and it was a challenging hike. Not that challenging, I've done worse or more rough hikes before, but it was definitely not for anyone who's never been hiking before. But I've done a ton of hiking, so it's fine. The only thing was like I have tiny feet, and some of those volcanic rocks, it was just really hard for me to keep my balance on those because of my feet, but I managed to survive. So that's why I'm making this video now. It was a lot of fun, and then we got to this lagoon where people were jumping off this swing off of a tree into the lagoon. I'm like, I can't swim to save my life like that, so I just watched. And then we had lunch, and then I met some amazing people on the trail, and yeah, they were like they were fascinated to like learn about my life and my travels, and I was fascinated to ask about their travels and their lives. And that's the best thing about traveling, is you meet other people and you get to learn so much about their lives. Like I met people from Europe, so many different countries. My tour group was mostly full of people from London. It was weird, but hey, I met some British people, and yeah, it was fun. And then we went to well, I left early. I just did the half-day tour. The other people did the full-day tour, so they went to the other side of the volcano. But I went to the hot springs earlier. They're gonna go at night, like now, but I went right after lunch. Lunch was good. It was basic stuff. Frijoles, so beans con arroz, rice, and this like potato gravy thing. Yeah, and pineapple. It was really good with iced tea. And then after that, yeah, the hot springs. The hot springs was interesting. I have a lot of pictures, but it was so just like, I did not expect that. You know, the last time I went to hot springs was in Ecuador, and it was by a volcano as well, and it was into a pool. It was like very organized. This was an actual stream, like a river, like flowing water, and no changing room. So like I had to change into my bathing suit, and I was like, oh, I managed. And like there were other people, like we were all like, oh, let's find a tree, hide behind, but whatever, it worked out. And then I finally got into the water, but there were rocks everywhere because it was an actual stream, river, not just like a pool. So my feet were like dying of pain. This is supposed to be like a hot water, like massage type of like feel, but it felt more like pain, pressure ulcers. But I almost tripped like 100 times, and finally I made it to the spot that had sand or like fine rocks. So I was finally able to like sit and chill for half an hour in the hot springs. It feels so good. It's so rejuvenating. I highly recommend it to everyone when near a volcano abroad. Anyway, so after that we finally got back, and I felt like Laura from Tomb Raider with my boots, and trying to like get up this fine little like alley up the hill, and it was crazy because finally I put my boots on. I was like, I cannot take this pain any longer, and I put my boots on and I had my socks, so I couldn't get back into the water. So I was like trying to go from the side, and like it was like this really narrow hill, and I was like just putting my foot on whatever I can find to balance myself and make it out. It was quite an experience. Like I loved that. I just absolutely loved that type of adventure, and it made me happy. I was like, I don't care if my feet hurt. I got this. So much fun. And then we went upstairs, or we walked not upstairs but up the hill, and waited for our ride back into town, or back into the place we were staying or near it. Yeah, and then from there I came back, and then I went to my favorite place in town to eat, the Rainforest Cafe, and had hot cocoa, which is chocolate con leche caliente. Muy rico, me encanta. And then it's hot chocolate, basically hot milk with chocolate, and it's delicious. Their chocolate here is amazing. Oh my gosh, Costa Rica has amazing chocolate. I thought Ecuador had great chocolate, and Colombia had great coffee. This has great chocolate. And so then I went and I booked my ticket to go back to this Alajuela, and I also got some stuff from the pharmacy, which was fun. I got to the pharmacy and I started talking Spanish as usual, and the guy at the counter, I don't know if he's a pharmacist or not, but and then the girl at the counter, both of them were like, oh wow, you speak Spanish so good. And I was like, so? Like, I just find it weird when people say that, and they were so sweet that they were like, because I was like, I want hydrocortisone for my mosquito bites, and they're like, here, let me give you something stronger, and they gave me some like strong steroid cream, and I looked at it, it was like, it was a generic, but I was like, I'm a nurse, I know what this is, I'm not taking this, I don't need this, I just need plain 1% hydrocortisone cream for mosquito bites. I know I can diagnose myself and treat myself, so I got that, and then he was like, oh, okay, he just stopped questioning me after that, because anyway, and then got some mosquito repellent, so I don't have to use the hostel's mosquito repellent again, and yeah, that was that, and then came and had my hot cocoa dinner. Now I'm here. That's it for now. Long vlog, but yeah, it was a beautiful, beautiful day, full of lots of adventure and hiking and meeting new people, good food, and now I'm tired, but I'm ready for ziplining tomorrow. With that, have a great day, night, wherever you are in the world. Take care.